It's on you. We live.
I know. I thought I hit request.
We did.
There we go. Here 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 we go. Kind of slow with IG.
It's waiting on you.
I didn't hit it. Man. I don't know if it's this internet.
We got 2 on Facebook. It popped me out. So we're on live on Facebook.
Bent. All right, let's try that again.
So Facebook, give us a second. We're trying to connect on Instagram.
Yeah, this thing is stupid. What's up? What's up, Facebook? Apologize.
Community.
Apologize. Do apologize. Let's see. Here we go. Let's try this again.
Let's try this again with technology. They've been my friend today. Not.
Nah, I can't.
Okay, Queens in Training. How y'all doing?
Yeah, that don't do me no justice. Yeah, I done hit the request again. I don't know what's up. See, I gotta apologize because
it says I'm waiting on Chocolate Crown. There we go. How you doing? Oh, we got Queens joining us. Hey, Queens. Get rid of my junky background.
What's up? What's up, Kings and Queens? Kings and Queens, episode number 17. I believe that's what it is.
It is. It is.
That's good. Good. So hopefully, the internet will act like it got some sense tonight.
It depends on which angle you go. You know how you start out.
No, we're just trying to share and have a platform and let other people voice their opinions as well. And sometimes the internet, Mr. Internet, is a hater. But yeah, we're gonna kind of, like you say, deep dive into last week's discussion or level up or whatever you want to call it about
we are our worst enemy. Yes.
So thank you, Kings and Queens, for joining us on the gram. Appreciate you. Facebook, appreciate you. Before we even get started, a lot of people been actually watching and tuning in. So from the deepest part, I want to say thank you. I appreciate it.
We appreciate
it. Makes it. Yeah, it makes it worthwhile when you go and study and read and learn and go out there with the community. You got a platform to come share it with people, so it's dope. So I appreciate it.
So we got a lot of things. Go ahead.
I guess we can't. I mean, the elephant in the room already is congratulations to Mr. Joseph Biden and Miss Kamala Harris on becoming the president, vice president of United States of America.
And we're moving to number 46 from number 45.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are Happy that he's out of there, at least in the areas that we are in. You know what I'm saying? Because some people are hot right now. They hot right now, and the Cheeto Man had to go.
Yes.
So congratulations to them. Um, and we're gonna spend a few minutes on that because it's very important that we don't take whoever would have become the president as if it's a victory. We need to put in more work than we've ever put in our life, and that's the truth. There's no way to sugarcoat that. I've seen a lot of people dancing and shucking and jiving and pop locking and doing the wave and the worm and
all the
whatever else it was out there. Like you know what I'm saying, they was hyped and excited. So it's sad to me because you know the times we live in. I don't think it's a dancing time. I don't think it's a party time. I don't think it's a we won. We didn't win nothing because y'all voted and nothing changed overnight. So we have to work even harder. So all those people that went out and voted, I hope now that you come Monday, come tomorrow morning, you up in these streets with the people trying to do something.
I think, and I look at the celebration twofold. It's like I see your point of view, but I see that people feel that their work of either early voting or getting up early, standing in the long lines, that they see evidence of their labor paying off, that their voice was actually counted. But as I shared last week and in the weeks that we had this conversation leading up to Tuesday, it doesn't stop with just going and placing the actual vote. Like we have a lot of the work that we have to do with rolling up our sleeves and hitting the pavement and having conversations and making sure that our local leaders know who we are and that whatever part of the pie or whatever part of the puzzle that we can have influence in, that we're out there making sure that our crowns are out there and that our voices are out there and that we're doing what it is that we can do to influence change and make sure that the needle is moving. And so like that we're not getting stuck depending on someone else to have our best interests at heart. Like our best interests at heart can only move with us doing something. And so we have to activate whatever that movement is, even if we had somebody that we felt that we trusted to make it move forward. And if they don't make it move forward or they don't make it move forward in the way in which we wanted it to, then we gotta, change the conversation or, figure out what's the new vantage point or the new strategy that we're going to make it happen, because the way that we saw it may be tunnel vision and it may be some additional things that we didn't consider that they're bringing to the table. And it's not to push whatever they put off the table, but to say, okay, how can I add this into the strategy and build upon it so that we can still have a better outcome towards the end?
Listen, it's good that we have some of these issues. We're on opposite ends of the spectrum. The one thing I'll say is, in the future, Black people, please make them pay for your vote. You keep giving this Democratic Party your vote with nothing in return. They already know you're going to vote for them. So they ain't even addressing what your issues are before you give the vote up. So in the future, when you go give your vote up, sit down with whoever it is that's in positions of power and get what you need in writing, get what you need up front before you give out your vote again. Because the sad thing is this man that just got voted in, he's not going to give you what you want. And then our people, like we've always done, we We protect the oppressor. Oh, he ain't had enough time. I already know this script. I already know how this goes. He need 4 more years. He can't do everything everybody's asking. Well, we as people who need to come together first and lay something down on the table, they don't know what we want because they ain't even take the meeting. They don't know what it is. Whether people agree with, like I said last week, with Brother Ice Cube had laid out and said to Trump, and at least the people in power had to hear you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a benefit to that because you know where the enemy is. You know where everybody stands. We talk about communication, ain't that? Especially the women, you want us to communicate, so we communicate with the enemy. Now we wrong. So in the future, even when we voting for whoever we voting for, and I'm happy that a lot of my people who voted, they feel like their vote counted. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. I'm happy for that. You know, but now the work starts. You can't go hide in your house. You stood in line for 4 hours and you think that was enough for 4 years.
And I hope that the people don't think that was enough, because that is far from the truth.
Come on now.
And I didn't stand in line for 4 hours. It was 45 minutes and I was in and out.
Yours don't matter. You know why?
Why?
Because you in the streets every day.
True.
So that you these people who stand in line for 45 minutes and then go home for the next 4 years and do absolutely nothing
and go to sleep.
That's the reality. And then post on Facebook and then on IG with the most political thing to say, but to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back out there and grind in any way possible, because I don't know what your talent is, you know, to move the culture forward. You do. And we need that. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is, like Brother Swanee said, is we voted for this president and the vice president, especially the vice president. They got a whole bunch of us by putting the sister in there, and then she divine nine, and all, you know. So they got a whole bunch of us with them. But what comes after that is there's still a pandemic that's supposed to be happening. There's going to be a vaccine that's coming that you don't have no idea what's in this vaccine. I mean, let's be honest. When you break down some of these other vaccines and what's made up of these vaccines, it's awful. Why are you pumping pig blood in babies? And we're like, we could go weird with these vaccines. And that's what they're going to do with this one. And we supposed to trust it. And then they're going to say, if you don't take it, you can't go in ShopRite. You can't go in Wegmans. You can't go in Whole Foods.
But they put in interventions and stuff for the fact that if we can't go into Wegmans or Whole Foods, we got the expensive way. We got Uber Eats and all of those DoorDash situations. But we also have Instacart that can do the grocery delivery for us, that we don't have to go in. So if that is an option that someone chooses, it's an investment in how they choose to operate within this society, that they have to make that type of choice.
So we just going to overlook that they're giving us the vaccine. We're going to overlook that part.
And you have options. I'm not saying overlook it, but I just want people to realize that if they choose to pay for the alternatives of avoiding taking it, that there are options.
Oh, that's just food. What happened with school?
We're already online, so you can still take that. Parents have a lot of options and resources that they are not activating, that they have rights and obligations to throughout the Department of Education in multiple states. Like, they're not obligated to listen to their local educational resources that say that they have to return their children back to school.
You gotta go to court. You gotta go to court, right?
You don't have to go to court.
Hold on. I'm just giving scenarios because my brother just said I'm not taking no damn vaccine. So you gotta go to court. You gotta take your baby to the hospital.
Hopefully you can do herbs and so forth like that. I know someone who feels as if they have contracted COVID and they are doing the natural reserves in order to combat the virus in a natural herb state that they're not doing.
But how many? But you saying that listen, hospitals are making billions of dollars because people are going there.
Absolutely.
So what happens when they say you and your baby can't come in a hospital until you get a COVID vaccine? These are questions we all have to ask ourselves because of the decisions that we make years prior.
But as Swanee say, your constitutional rights will be violated by them doing that. And as the Constitution stands right now, it already violates our rights. So it's like we're not even written within the Constitution as it is.
Swanee from 15104. You ain't got no rights in 15104. They've been murdering us, killing us, locking us up, feeding you all kind of. You ain't got no constitutional rights. You see every day somebody.
Gyro. Let him have his gyro.
You see every day somebody getting cracked in the head because we ain't fighting back. We gonna keep voting. That's why. That's what we like to. We like to vote. We don't want to fight back. That's why. The person who is supposedly over you, if they have no fear of you, they're gonna do whatever they want to do to you, and that's where we at. So if you're gonna go into these government buildings and federal institutions and all that, you want to go to college?
Right now, nothing is open, so it's like, what angle are you coming at? None of these things are open. Like they're trying to reopen them, but nothing is really open.
Yeah, because they're gonna open them once you take the virus, the vaccine.
But if they don't have the numbers complying to this request, then what?
Then they're gonna force you to take the vaccine. Listen, people are trained to take flu vaccines. People are trained to go to these hospitals where doctors are told from scientists what's in these medicines. So let's just say there's a bad scientist out there and he wants to give off bad vaccines. What happens? We've seen an uptick. We've seen an uptick in
autism. That wasn't no shot. I'm with you on the gyros.
Listen, we've seen an uptick in autism over the last 15, 20 years, 25, 30 years. Come on now. We know what's behind this. We're not going to play stupid. We are too grown. See, that's the problem. We was out dancing at political rallies. Political rallies have to do with your life and your people's life and your family's life. We want to dance.
Music has always brought us together, and dancing has always entertained us. And I think that they feel as if we're dancing, then we're not going to be violent, which is not necessarily true, because in some communities, dancing can still be competitive and create violence.
You ain't. No, this ain't the 80s where you had the cardboards and it was hood versus hood and you out there pop locking and it could turn into something violent. No,
but it was people from the 80s that was pop locking.
If you out there dancing now, first of all, that's a problem. We ain't even gonna go further than that, man. You dancing in the street as a grown man. As a grown man, there's a problem because people's lives is on the line.
Right.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, you can vote, bro. You listen. I ain't here to judge nobody. I'm only Fletch. I'm nobody. I'm just a man trying to navigate through this. And I love you, bro. That's my bro, Mark.
You more than nobody. Like, you're not gonna sit here and say that you're nobody.
No. When I say nobody, I mean as far as telling somebody that their vote doesn't matter. If you believe your vote matter, that's all that matters. And if you voted for the winner, I'm a competitive person. You just won. Now we need you in these streets. Cousin Fletch.
So then so then the question should be, if we saying that people need to be in the streets, drop in the comments, what are you willing to do in the streets that's going to be a part of your what's next? As opposed to just swimming around and talking about the elephant in the room, what's your contribution to be in the streets that you're going to roll up your sleeves and do next? Like, what do you see as your level up move on contributing to the conversation on doing what's next? Like, let's not talk around it. Let's be about it. Like, what is it? Put it in the comments. Send us a text. What is it? Put it on Instagram.
If you helping one person, that's all it's about, man. If you putting some positive thought, especially into the next generation, to have them think differently, that's all it's about.
But let's talk about that, because we facilitated a conversation yesterday. Okay, not yesterday, Friday, with some young people where we were able to acknowledge and help them acknowledge where they have been conditioned to organize their thoughts in a line and going straight down and organizing it in a certain way. And we disrupted that organization by having them write ideas about a variety of different things, but out of order, out of that constructed order. But it was them dumping their ideas about a variety of things that was happening, that was helping them to just get whatever energies out of their mind and their body. That's what people need to do, is to just be able to take a clear piece of paper and say, okay, what are the things that we need to change or that we want to see different in our homes, in our communities, in our jobs, in our career? Like, what is it that we want to see differently? And in no particular order, just write it on a piece of paper, and with however it shows up on the paper.
I know. I mean, for the young people, that's always good. Getting your thoughts out and writing down what you could possibly do. And everybody's different. But if you put down one thing you could do, I'll say, for example, I'm on the East Coast and I've been in Philly and Camden and Jersey and all that. If I could do it all over, I would have never left my own community. From day one, I would have never left my own community. And reason why is because I actually had some pull and influence there more than I had when I first moved to where I'm at now and had to build and establish. I could have used that platform that I had already and ran with it. But, growth and life kind of takes you and dictates what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. I didn't really know at a younger age I was going to be actually out here in these streets with the young people from city to city. Like, you could have told me I wasn't going to be still catching touchdowns. But, I mean, not at 41. That's over.
Your touchdowns look differently. I
would have stayed in my community because that platform was already built. And I knew the influence and I knew some of the things, but I had to shift and where I'm at continue to work. Like, I was burnt out at a point. I can't lie. I stepped all the way away from the young people. I had to. I was burnt completely out. And I don't know how people do it 20, 30, 40 years straight, because at some point you hit that wall. And we all know about that. But we're not judging. Chocolate Crown's not going to judge anybody on what they're doing, but we need everybody to do something. Like, we need everybody, because it's tiresome sometimes. It's tiresome because a lot of people who know that you out here, they'll lean on you and talk to you, and I mean, it's cool, but it becomes tiresome. So we need more and more people from their perspective. We need more and more men, because we all come in different shapes, sizes, forms, and none of us are perfect. I'm dealing with crap every day. I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to keep getting up and just trying, because that's all we can do. Ain't no rule book on this. You see where the people before you made mistakes. You see where the people before you did well, and you try to run with that. I seen what Calvin Murphy does. I seen it up close. I seen Marcus Berkeley around the young people. So I've taken things. I've taken tools. I've seen you work with young people. I've seen you work with young ladies. So I've taken, and we need to all do that, because none of us are perfect with this thing, and it's going to take every single one of us, every one of us, to move forward and start getting what we supposed to have in this land. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But shout out to Kamala. You know, she is the first. I don't even know what. During the campaign, she switched up a few times on us. I don't know if she's black, colored, African American, Negro,
Caribbean, Indian.
I don't know what she is, but
I don't know if it was actually her switching up or the culture of the United States switching up, trying to figure out what was the safest way to identify her, or how they could digest who she would be, should she be who is representing us in our country, because
she played the game well. She knew not to stand on being black 5 years ago. You ain't.
She didn't get there by standing on black. She didn't get there by standing on black. But
so I said she played the game, and I ain't mad at her. I call me black either. I'm native. I'm indigenous to this land, man. Don't call me no black person. You don't have no standing in the court, people. So don't go in the courtroom ever again and say you black. You ain't no, check the other box, because you are other. But like when Barack became president, it was the image. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't a voter then. I didn't vote for him either. You know what I'm saying? But I was teaching high school kids, and I wanted them to experience voting. So go express your God. Now they say God-given right. He ain't got no God-given right, because some white man had to sign off on the bill for you to be able to vote. So white man giving right to vote. Go use it, man. Go. I ain't lying. If there was because if it was God given, we would have never lost it in the first place, right? So let's be real. So I've always told young people, go vote, go enjoy the vote. You know what I'm saying? Go do that. Go. I wasn't gonna do it, but it's the symbol. It's he's the figurehead. You see a black man at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? And he's not. And we're not glorifying no gang member, nobody in the hood who done shot up the hood, sold drugs throughout the hood, killed everybody, and you know what I'm saying, and did all the craziness. Nah, it's cool to have a symbol up there who is well spoken, dressed nice, got a chocolate sister on his arm, and nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that at all, because we've done enough glorifying.
It's nice to have a complete sentence again.
Yeah, we glorified the bottom of the barrel brothers for a long time. So, and in this land we are, let's not hide the fact or negate the fact that anytime we've had brothers like that, they've gotten rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Revolutionary types, well spoken, not scared to stand on something. You know them. Just fearless. They had to go. They've always been like, we got to get them out of here for a long time. So to see somebody up there, and I don't know how fearless Barack. No, you got to be pretty fearless to be the president. I ain't gonna say that. I don't know when the last time Barack was in a rumble though. He ain't grow up. He ain't grow up in 151. Yeah, he ain't had no rumbles. Nah, I bet he ain't even really from Chicago, man. I know he ain't had no fights in Chicago, man. He didn't grow up with and have to go from Rankin to Braddock, man. Just the hoop, man. He didn't. I don't know if Barack's hands is
Don't be
nice.
talking about my hometown.
So Barack, they bullied the mess out of Barack in Chicago, man.
He wasn't even in the bullying town, but the park. But even in where he lived at, I'm sure there was a different level of bullying up. He had to level up for that in politics, but it didn't look like Southside bullying.
No.
No.
You allowed to talk. You allowed to talk bad about people in politics. If you do that on the South Side of Chicago, bye.
Yeah, it's a different conversation.
Yeah, but yeah, it's I mean, Malcolm, Martin, Medgar, couple Black Panther. Yeah, it was people who stood on something and was fearless. And Fred Hampton, I mean, that brother was fearless and he united. If you don't know the history of Fred Hampton,
you see what's funny, bro.
He never came to the bus stop. It's real talk. But if you ain't never heard of Fred Hampton and you've ever just heard of him through how white people have told you about Fred Hampton, go do some homework on that young brother and who he was and how he united all kinds of people. I mean, the bottom of the barrel people, Black folks, white folks. If you was poor, in natives, I mean, all kind of people, Hispanics. I shouldn't even use that word. I hate that word. Latin brothers.
Afro-Latina.
Go do some real homework on some of our people, man, and see why they had to go, man. And because then, like when we talk to young people or we talk to anybody and you try to understand where they come from, you rewind back and get the story of who they were years ago and when they were younger. So that's what we need to do. We need to rewind back and see some of these people and go do it on your own terms, not on the terms of Mr. Skowalski when you was in 9th grade. No. Go do it on your terms now as a grown person.
Because then they only have permission to tell you what they could tell you, and they only know from the scope of what it is that they know. They don't know from the scope of what someone who has walked similar, experiences that you may be walking. So, you got to do it that way.
Yeah, you have to do your own homework. But, just to
she definitely was before her time. Angela Davis was definitely before her time.
Mm-hmm.
And even when people try to say now, oh, you coming in with your Angela Davis hairstyle or you coming in with your Angela Davis type ways. No, I'm coming in with whoever your name is. You identify with who you are because Angela Davis is her and I am who I am. It may resemble something that about Angela Davis, but we're two individual people. And
you know what? No, go ahead. Sorry.
And that's one of the things that we have to begin educating others to stop othering us and trying to capture us being, like whoever it is that they know within our culture and within our history, thinking that we're trying to be emulating like a Malcolm and a Martin and an Angela Davis. Like, yes, we may have some similarities, but I am who I am in my own voice that may look like Angela Davis, but I am Mary May, like solidly.
I understand what you're saying, but they say that because they're scared of that image. That's why. So don't ever not embrace that. Yes, you can always embrace our ancestors. Yeah, they're scared of that image.
Yeah, I know that they're scared of it. I'm not pushing it away and I'm not dismissing it, but I want to own who your voice is to be important. And the fact that your voice is just as important as Angela Davis's voice is important, but it's not to dismiss that you are not important unless you have to be compared to. Like, we need to stop comparing ourselves to a previous voice in that regard.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I gotta agree to disagree with that because I like, for instance, I've been told when I started on my journey, Malcolm you Malcolm, you Farrakhan, and I'm not even a Muslim, but because you saying that, that denotes power to me. That means that there's power behind it. Like, so I didn't never take that as I'm not pushing the brothers to the side. I don't agree with everything they've done, but I know the image is powerful and I know it's scary to white folks. So I embrace it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that yes, your voice is your voice, but your voice ain't as loud without Angela Davis.
And I'm definitely, I think it's a part of paring it down. I'm always talking about peeling the layers back. And I think that in the layers is tiers to understanding the respect to the ancestors and standing on the shoulders, but then giving respect to both pieces. So it's a both and, but not taking away from.
Oh yeah, nah. I want you to be empowered, but I want you to know where that empower come from.
Absolutely.
Because we don't see those images a lot anymore unless you go do your own homework. So if that energy is in you, you need to know where that comes from and stand on giants.
And I think that comes to where we may be a part of our own worst enemy because we don't have these type of conversations of standing on the shoulders of the giants and embracing the power that they have, because people are fearful of having those conversations because it comes with a cost and consequence to embracing all of the richness that they bring to who we are and how we have the richness that we have in our culture today.
I would just say I would just tell our people, listen, know your history, because you ain't the first one that did this. And I know it because of my background in sports. When my high school started to take off, I knew there was 1,000 guys before me who paved the way. It was dope. So I got to go see who these guys are and who I could emulate and who I could take from.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. I look back at the past and I say, man, I want to sound like Fred Hampton. Man, I want to be able to unite our people like Fred Hampton. Man, I want to be well spoken like Martin and fearless like Martin, but a revolutionary like Malcolm. Like, I don't want to just not have somebody that I could turn to, and like, no, that's part of our problem. When this is strategic by this in this land. We have people like, for instance, Chicago has been in mayhem since the leadership has been taken away out of Chicago. Larry Hoovers and people like that. As bad as people might say they are, they had their hand on the whole pulse of a city. So when you take away leadership, now all the people on the bottom are just running crazy. No, but when you know who your leader is, and you know who you could turn to, and you know how you stand, and you could get valuable information. That's all. You could call somebody and say, what do you think about this? How would you handle this? And I would do it like this. I'm not saying that you do, but I'm saying take this info and then go put it up against another elder or master teacher. Not just stand on it on your own, because it makes it even harder. There's people who got a blueprint for you.
Right.
A blueprint. And we don't follow it. Tulsa, Oklahoma was a blueprint.
Right.
We supposed to see where we went wrong and get back on that track.
Right.
Because elders before us have done it. So they've shown us a way. But because we've been indoctrinated and keep on voting for a integrated system, we're going to keep getting these people's history. We're going to keep getting these people's versions of ourselves that they want to give us. That's what we're going to keep getting until we jump off the train and learn where our ancestors started from, get back on that track and make it bigger and better. That's the only way we're going to really feel like we're supposed to feel in this world. That's what I believe. You don't got to believe it out there in Facebook and IG world. You can be like, Fletch, you cuckoo, shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. He didn't want you to know nothing about 1619.
Right.
He didn't want you to, so we got to go do our own. And I
But
hope, and
but
I'm
then
gonna be
also in
honest,
the
people.
1619 was the 400-year punishment thing too, like in regards to that just ended in 2019, the 400 years of punishment of our culture and community that was
Oh, you
diversity
got
and equity and all of that. What'd you say, Dalrico?
um. Oh, I done lost track of thought, But um, we. Oh, I know where I was going with it. Like for
Okay.
instance, a few weeks ago we talked about Kamala and her having a platform to speak on Breonna Taylor, and she didn't do anything.
Right.
Listen, folks, don't be surprised if this woman does nothing for y'all. Nothing. Don't be surprised. This America. You can't be shocked. They've murdered your babies and everything with phones out and cameras running. Don't be
Mm-hmm.
shocked. She had every right. She had the whole platform. She had America listening.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't even speak on the young lady. So don't be surprised.
And didn't come back and visit it.
Mark, they talk all this HBCU and all that, and we love her. She go home to a white man. That's the reality. She go home to.
And is he truly white? Like, he didn't look white. He looked like he was some other ethnic background.
He ain't other. And people could say, you love who you love. You can love who you love. That's fine. But you don't love a black man. You don't love. I love Michelle because I seen she still loves a black man. You could talk to us. You could say we wrong because in your house you got a black man. You can't tell. Kamala can't tell us nothing until I meet the brothers from the HBCU who was creeping that night. So I meet them. I don't know. She don't love us. And it's sad because he wrote a crime bill. He don't love us. I'm a black man. Like at some point.
But okay, so even when the crime bill was written and we keep identifying the two of them, there was a lot of pastors that look like us that participated in writing and contributing to the content of this crime bill.
In the name of Jesus.
There was a lot of local politicians that we know of that participated in the content of these crime bills. So it's not just them solely alone. It's a whole bunch of local melanated individuals that said, okay, yeah, we need this, and okay, you're going to give us X amount of dollars so that we can build the building fund.
But why? But why? Bills aren't written from the bottom up. They're written from the top down. That's how bills are written. So
Silence.
Silence. But you either jump on the bandwagon. Clinton was going to be the president. We knew that. Mm-hmm. So you either jump on this, and remember, Clinton made his name back in the day when Little Rock, Arkansas was on HBO for Bloods and Crips, and it was a big crime that happened back then, and he made his political name on that. So those bills are written from the top down. So those black churches and all that, they had to get in line. You want your little money, you hop on board. And you know who, and me, men who look like me were thrown all in the jail. Built the jails on top of. Some of them are awful individuals because they destroyed their communities.
Right.
Destroyed their communities.
Right.
Not all of them. Not all of them. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them. And a lot of them were ripped away from their families, whipped away from their children. You know what I'm saying? And
Martin was ripped away from his family, though.
Who?
Martin Luther King was ripped away from his family.
He decided to take that walk and leave Coretta. He could have stayed at home.
His cigarettes.
Yeah, but I give him credit because his shoes was dirty. You know what I'm saying?
his
Yeah, John Lewis and the whole Congressional Black Caucus supported that. Yeah,
right.
we pat John Lewis on the back, and his name was on that bill too.
But the thing,
all of them.
But then, like, okay, so
All
then
of them.
even in the beginning of the previous 45, whatever we want to call that he was doing on whatever that street is called, Pennsylvania Avenue, he met with the whole congressional caucus and the whole Black church, and we ain't heard from none of them throughout this entire 4 years and out throughout this entire political campaign. They have not stepped up to say anything until even recently with some of the gun violence, but then all of them still have hush money and can't even speak up for their own community, but they want you to come out with some tithes and offerings.
Listen, we can have a whole conversation on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, these are structures that create us to be our own worst enemy, because we have been, I don't want to say brainwashed. I don't want to say that. We have been conditioned to believe that these supportive systems in our community, and we believe that they're supportive, that they are the things that we go to for resource and for help to be better, to get wellness, to do things the right way. And then, but they're not really in our best interest. They're really there with a secondary gain to tell us a cookie cutter way. And none of us listening to this conversation, catching us on the replay, whatever, live life the same exact cookie cutter way. We hearing this conversation totally different because it applies to each one of us totally differently. Hey, Queen Lean.
Listen, that church thing, they make so much money. They can fix up any community they want to. But because we keep voting, the system is the same. People who, and like I said before, Mom, I'll clap for you too. Y'all vote. You won. Y'all won. I'm happy. I hope they do something other than put nets up in the hood. I really hope. I mean, listen, like our churches, they make billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. You could flip neighborhoods like it's nothing, but they don't want to. They do not want to. I mean, we can shout out all the churches in this. I mean, and I know a few. I mean, Marcus became a really good friend because my family went to Union Baptist Church, and his house was right across the street from that church. And I learned more from his father than everybody else did in that church. And I ain't never go in that church. We stayed on the porch with Marcus' dad and got real game from a real man that we could really see and we could really touch. Mm-hmm. Who really walked the path that we gonna walk. Not some character, man. You know what I'm saying? Not some character. No, we went to a man. And Mark's father, he raised a whole bunch of us. And Mark's a stand-up man. Yeah, he never went to one service. And he lived by the church. Because and all around that hood, poor people, up and down. All we did was replace the nets. And half the summer, there wasn't even nets on Collingwood hoops. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what I can go on and on about religion and how it's done nothing for the hood. Nothing.
But I think the focus though for today though would be like, how does it feed in or fuel in us it being a part of it being a worst enemy for us? Or how is it that it contributes both positive or negative, or as a pro or a con, to developing our character, our lifestyle, our values, our beliefs, whatever, like however people choose to live in life.
Because we live in fairy tales.
That's a whole conversation we were supposed to have as an episode.
We live in fairy tales, and like my mom said, they beg for your money and they take plates and collections, and half the church got to go get picked up in the van while the pastor driving a very beautiful car. Like, we know this. We see mega churches. These dudes is pulling up in Rolls Royces, but the hood around the church looks terrible. Terrible. And we ain't checking nobody. And we ain't checking the pastors when they walk out. They are robbing the community. Robbing the community.
But and they share that they're supposed to be blessed because they are blessing you by guiding you with different scriptures and guiding you with different tools allegedly on what it is that you're supposed to be living by between different services, and you don't really find what scripture that they're talking about from one week to the next or from one passage to the next. But if you continue to follow that, then you're a part of their village, and they think that you are responsible for their livelihood, because some of them choose to live off of the tithes and offerings that go into that plate and will not release the service until they have received what they feel is a substantial amount that they were supposed to receive.
Let's say, for instance, let's say I was a supporter of Joel Osteen's church, right? The mega church. And the hurricane comes and the floods and everything, and I need a place to stay. You know, he closed his doors and won't even let nobody in the church. But this is supposed to be godly. Now, these people are demons, man, and they know how to hustle you out your money. That's what they've been doing. Yeah, the church is ran by the government, and all our people keep thinking it's Jesus. No, it ain't no Jesus. It's about the men in your community is who we need back in the community so we could touch them. Marcus Berkeley's father, Marcus Berkeley, I touched his father. He slapped me in the head. He congratulated me. He patted me on my back. Jesus ain't never did that, not one time. Mama Joe, that's what she did. She patted me on the back. That's why I say Black woman is God to me. That's who gave me my strength. Patted me on the back, fed me. Not no church. No, I lived across the street from the church and watch all these cars line up, come from other hoods, and then leave, and then we struggling the rest of the week. They hand out little boxes of food now and think they doing something by handing out this old ass contaminated food, and we supposed to pat them on their back. Like, stop it, man. Like, this is it. Like, it's bad, but like I said, until we write it all down and go confronting it like we supposed to, like really confronting the pastor at that church. Like, yo, what are you doing with this money? This is a monetary capitalist society. And if we need to grab some boys, do some wild boys, but care about the hood, that's what we need to do.
But more so, I think that if we were talking about like in the leveling up and what is next, I think that it would be responsible to say to whoever the leaders are, if it's the deacons and the pastors in the church, leveling up and having that real talk conversation. What is your responsibility to this community? Like, before you come to me and ask me for a contribution, be it tithes and offerings, what is your commitment of rolling your sleeves up and to engage with doing in this community? Because if I'm not looking at the material things of what it is that I see, I need to see the action that you are, offering to the people who live in this community. Because what we need is, and knowing specifically what those needs are of the community, besides providing old food. And I think that that's like having a real evidence base. And if they don't care, then hold them accountable for not caring, and going to the other layer of that conversation, to those local political people.
But like you said, everybody who you didn't use brainwash, you use condition. Everybody in there conditioned or brainwashed.
They are, but it's like you can begin to educate people. Like, people only know what they know, and they're not going to open the books to actually learn something different because they're conditioned to do this Wednesday and Saturday process, dressing up, spending money, wearing the different garbs and the costumes that they have been told to wear in this process of doing different things, and the process of making sure that they're a registered voter and doing those different things. But it's like, still, it takes the generations who know different things to hold them accountable, just like we hold the politicians accountable, just like we hold
No, we
millennials
don't.
accountable. Like
No, we don't. We
I'm
don't.
telling you, no, this is what the purpose of this conversation of us being our own worst enemy is, that we haven't
Yeah.
held anybody accountable or responsible up to this point. But if we're leveling up and saying what's next, this is what the specific task is of what is next. You said that I'm always out there in the streets and, rolling on my sleeves and helping adults and children and couples and families or whatever. So I will continue to do what I'm doing, but I need other people to be with me to do the same.
No, nobody gonna come. There's no help, no reinforcements. That's why you got to train the next generation of young people, because old people old and stuck in their ways. If you already out here, you out here. Marcus out here. You know what I'm saying? I know brothers out here. You know no, they ain't, because it actually takes work.
It does, and it's tiring and it's draining. And like
Voting,
you said, you
voting
gotta.
don't take no work. Voting don't take no work. Voting takes no work. Zero work. Zero.
It does. I mean, it doesn't.
They allowed you to mail in your joint this year
Because they wanted to get more capacity in how many votes they receive.
Zero work. It don't take work to vote. And we don't hold politicians. We don't hold pastors. We don't hold anybody accountable. Nobody. This is America.
Right.
This is America. The scam of the year, of the century. This was stolen. It's everything about it is shaky.
Right.
Like it seems like more of a fashion show. It seems like more of a I go to church, I do it. Because if you really did it, then our communities would be okay, because everybody would be doing work. Even the people in church would be doing work. The people who are spiritual people who don't follow church, they just on their own way. They would be doing work. People who care about other people, they would be doing work. We would all be but there's so many people who go in that building, give their tithes, and say, "I'm reading this book. I believe in Jesus," and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, them niggas is doing, they out there in them streets and they so awful, and this judge everybody.
Right.
We know that. We could talk. We know everybody who's been in church. We know those are the most judgmental people in the world. People who follow Jesus want to judge somebody.
Right.
You're an adult believing in fairy tales, but you judging somebody.
But the fairy tales is what makes them believe that they are living life correctly, as opposed to, again, they need accountability and they need a specific.
Because you believe don't mean it's true.
Right. But they need a specific agenda and a specific outline that is not Disney informed to believe that is real. Like they have to begin to become educated. Like and that means having a protest outside of the establishments that they seem to think is the one that has the truth in there. They're like, okay, let's have some truth serum for you. And with consistency of being outside of those establishments that they believe has the truth serum, hopefully at some point they'll be like, okay, well, no, y'all keep coming out here. It must be something that y'all really have, to share with us. And, people who take that route, hopefully they will be consistent in educating people that the pastor ain't always the pastor.
If it made people better, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But most of the people doing all this crap out here in this world, they walk around with a cross on their neck. You know what I'm saying? Representing the death of your savior. So you walk around with death on your neck, and then we wonder why we living in destruction. Like, if it really made you, now there's some people I talk to and they believe in Jesus, and Jesus has helped them become better people. not just to say I believe in Jesus, just like some of my brothers who say they Muslims and they believe in Allah. If it don't make you a better person, you pointless.
But you have to
You point.
understand what it is from the history, but then also the value of accountability that you have it apply in your life in every single day. Like there's some value to it, but you can't believe in the human person or the human situation more than you believe in accountability to how you apply it every single day.
Yeah, well, goes back to learning your own history.
True.
Rewind your own story. Don't just take the story that was given to you because your people was bust upside the head and told read this book, or because you know what I'm saying, like some of your people couldn't even read and they was given books with English in it, and now you standing on that same thing, but great grandma couldn't even read. Not that she didn't want to, they didn't allow it. So you standing on traditions passed on that it had to be beaten into her.
And she was
You,
forced.
you
And she
can
was
say,
forced
honey,
into
you know,
Christianity.
we coming on Chocolate Crown talking about you a Hebrew. We telling the people you a Hebrew. Listen, if you a Hebrew, do it make you a better person? Are you helping the community by you saying that I'm a Hebrew? That's all I want to know. Because I don't care if you told me you was a monkey, Swanee. But if you helping the young people be better than we were, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care what you stand on, man. Just stand on being a king. Stand on, you know what I'm saying? Know your history, but do it make you a better person. That's all I want to know. You know what I'm saying? We all, whatever it is that we lean on, whoever it is that we lean on, is it making us better? That's you know what I'm saying. Like, we talk kings and queens. Yeah, good night, Mark. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, King. Um, we just talk about being better. We talk,
Good night, Mark.
call each other kings and queens. Everybody in Facebook, IG land, we try to go by those terms because words are spells. Spells are powerful. And if we keep beating it into our head that we kings and queens, um, you know, it'll that's my guy too. See, that's why I said it ain't even about that man. Eric Nussbaum and Fletch come from two different sides of the world, man. And I love that man. He used to try to put my body back together after every Saturday shellacking we went through. He would try to glue me back together, but he would give me so much game as an 18-year-old kid, 19-year-old kid out in Jersey from Pittsburgh who didn't know anything. And I appreciate E so much. Eric Nussbaum. He was amazing. I don't know what he up to. All I see him now on Facebook is fishing, so I hope he retired. But and he was a white man. You know what I'm saying? But he had love and care in his heart. You know what I'm saying? He had real concern. When I was a little knucklehead at 18, most of these cats probably wouldn't think I would be doing this and would help the young people. Like I was a hardhead, man. And E was amazing. And so it's just about the relationship you build, and are they making you better? The people who you getting information from, are they making you better? Are they pushing you to be better? Or are the people around you, they want you to be stagnant? Bernardo Brown checking in and he gonna say I was there. Come on, man. There's some things you're supposed to take to the grave.
He know where the bodies is at.
Yeah, man. But the people we lean on, like, are they making us better people? Are they giving us game that we could put to use? Or the people that surround us, like really pointless. That's what it's really about. And info and knowledge comes from all kind of ways and different forms and different facets. And you also learn a lot from a fool. So if you got a fool around you, learn from him and get him out your circle or get her out your circle. You know what I'm saying? But we are not perfect. Fletch is not perfect. This is my outlet with Queen Mary to talk about some things that go on in the community and how we can be better. But I'm still searching as well. There's a lot that I don't know, but I'm willing to try to learn. So if we all do that, and your therapy sessions, you might be a therapist on the corner of Penn Avenue or Pulaski in Chicago or Peachtree in Atlanta or Chadwick in Newark. I'm naming some wild spots. Lindbergh. Like honestly, our people need it all the time. Like if you got game, you give it to the young people, man. You give it when you can, when you can, and you receive it when you can. You got to be willing and willing to learn if you want to be able to give information. So that's what I'm big on. I'm big on just trying to learn as much as I can. I know I don't know nothing. When I pick up some of these books, I'm like, and I got so much to learn, but it's a good feeling when you want to learn it and you actually go out there and try to get it done. Building a house, building a community. Yeah. Infinite Mind and Body and Butterfly Love facilitating Mondays. It's gonna be something new for me as far as I think it's gonna be reverse work as far as working with the adults. But I've worked with adults through children. Now I'm going to work with adults specifically. And I think it's probably going to help me because when you work with young people, they keep you on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
They keep you up on everything, man. What's up, brother? Brother Colton, man, congratulations on the business. I've been seeing. Oh, post up your information on your business if you're able to.
You put it in the comments and we'll post it up.
In your comments, post your business up there, brother Carlos. And I'll take it as well. We'll take it for next week's show and have it posted up. So anybody in the comments, you still listening and you got a business, please promote it, and we will help continue to promote it. To get it out there and see if we can help each other, because that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? So I share posts. We all need to share posts. We need to like. We need to, when somebody says I need info on this, I got the info and I can send it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We got to get back to bartering and helping, because I got to
feel free to share it on the Chocolate Crown page too. Like, that's what our community is about too. Like, we want to make sure we share that information on a daily basis. So you got some new promotion going, please share that. We probably will make a day that is dedicated for that, so it's not just randomly coming every day. But right now, just feel free to share until that happens.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Tri-State Cleaning Techs. If you in the area, shout out my cuz. Dope work. He don't play no games about that business. Business, you in the area. We're gonna go ahead and put it up next week as well, Los. So I appreciate that. Appreciate you checking in. But yeah, man, listen.
With the family preservation, what you were saying about that.
Yeah, we so I'll read it again. The family preservation group community when we rebuild a house, we are rebuilding a home, community violence support and resource group with Infinite Mind and Body. With Butterfly Love, facilitate Mondays.
It begins on the 23rd.
Yeah, starting the 23rd. Out in the community, man. So, if you know young people, if you know adults who need outlets, who need services, need therapy, get at us, man. We are people. I always say I'm a man amongst the people because I don't know how to label it. And I like helping people that I know really need help. And we got people walking around these communities who aren't able to see therapists and doctors and all kind of stuff. So if you're able to help people, man, just go ahead and do it, man. And along with bettering yourself, but don't settle. Don't settle for the we won because my vote counted. No, make that the reason why you get out here and grind even more. Um, so we still under uh, I don't even know what they call it, social distancing, requirements and that kind of thing.
And
Don't
probably
stop.
about to go back into quarantine.
Yeah, don't stop slacking on the taking care of your immune system and your health. It's winter time, so you're gonna be, in the house even more. You got a little chance to get out a little bit, but it's gonna be cold and that kind of thing. So, take care of your immune system. Elderberries, get that up in you. Turmeric, ginger, garlic, all that good stuff. Um, Osha root, get it all up in you and listen. And we're gonna come back next week and we're gonna start every week. I'm gonna probably do some work because I plan on writing Kamala Harris a letter because I'm not gonna let it go by without somebody asking for certain things we need. And I know some certain things that my people in 15104 need. I know some certain things that people in Philly need and Camden. So I'm writing her letters, and I'm gonna write her letters until she answers me.
Yeah, I know I asked her the question around her speaking about what's it called? Breonna Taylor, and she hadn't responded. So I'm gonna continue to ask her around that by way of Twitter until she responds as well.
Oh yeah, I'm writing her. I'm writing her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna address every letter with Queen.
Right.
I'm gonna address every letter with Queen. But what she can't do, you can't can't take it personal.
No sugar for me, Swanee G, but I'm definitely with the creamer.
Yo, Swan, man, I want you to live, brother. I want you to live. I want it's on to be here for a long time, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, Los, listen, number one, people stand on being immigrants, and I mean immigrants with an E and an I. And if you're an immigrant and if you ain't native to this land, aboriginal to this land, you're never gonna get reparations. So I don't even know. Our people are delusional with that. And if I was America, I would have been gave black folks reparations because they'd have been gave it back. They know how we go.
Right.
They say here go $250,000 for every black person in America. I'll just sit back and wait. Because as soon as you get it, Cadillacs, Dave Chappelle got the skit. Everything gonna be all the stuff that we ever wanted. Gold chains is gone, platinum chains is out of here. Then gave it back, so we wouldn't even have this question. But Los is right. If reparations is one, we need all to say that because yeah, but Los, we natives, man. But everybody keep calling themselves black, African American. Like we know that. That's what you get when you check boxes for works and jobs in school. They're gonna give you black and African American. They ain't gonna give you the tribe that you was tied to this land with. They're not gonna do that. They don't want you to get real reparations. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna tell you black, you African American, you Negro, you colored. They're gonna give you every term that they made up. Everyone. Instead of saying, you know what I'm saying, what it was that your family and tribe and nation was in this land. So we ain't gonna never agree. The black elite gonna keep saying they the black elite. And we stand on it. They make money in this system. You know what I'm saying? They make money by the system being the way it is. They make money by you. First it was Puffy with Vote or Die. And then now all the celebrities came out, vote again. Like they don't want it different. you know, they flourished, and yeah, I ain't come on no boat, cuz. Nah, I'm tracing that lineage as we speak. Mm-mm. No boats for cousin Fletch, man. So, but we all need to stand on certain things, man. And listen, man, we're gonna have a chocolate crown homework, man. What's the 5 things that you would say we need to stand on as people and move first on these 5 things? So next week we come back, you know, we got chocolate crown homework, and we say, what's the 5 things if we could identify with and say these are the 5 things that we want first? You know what I'm saying? Because we got to come to some kind of agreement at some point where we saying, okay, this is what we stand for, this is what we want, this is how we're gonna go about it.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're gonna continue to vote, we're gonna keep getting the same things. You know what I'm saying? We've been voting for a long time.
We've been conditioned, just like we conditioned to go to Sunday service with our Sunday best on.
Yeah. Listen, man, it's hour and 15. I done talked y'all ear off. But listen, get out there and get your feet dirty, get your shoes dirty, man.
Roll your sleeves up, have a plan, be strategic.
You know, and let's just keep coming with some good ideas so we can keep moving the culture forward and keep helping young people and keep thriving, man. So Chocolate Crown, Kings and Queens, I appreciate you. Every Sunday, 8 p.m. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell another friend.
And if you miss us, catch us on either on the page or you could catch us on Podbean. The podcast will be loaded by Wednesday of that week. Our podcast will be loaded on Wednesday on our podcast channel on podbean.com.
Shout out to the Steelers.
Of course.
He played bad, but we 8-0. Nah, Kings and Queens, peace. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you all for joining us. Have a great week. Catch you all next Sunday.